Steve is a third-generation Californian dairy producer and president of Bar 20 Dairy Farms. He's a leader in sustainability and innovation. Under his direction, Bar 20 was the first US dairy to generate and sell electricity from an on-farm manure digester using a fuel cell. Steve brings practical experience navigating carbon markets and investing in methane-reducing infrastructure, offering a producer's perspective on climate-smart solutions. Thanks, Steve.
First of all, I'd like to thank UC Davis for the invitation to come here and tell my story of the long journey in our quest to reduce our methane emissions on our farms. As Frank was saying last night to me, he goes, if you have a good story, you got to tell it. And I think the dairy industry in general has a lot of good stories to tell. And I really have appreciated this conference and all the activity and research being done to help improve the dairy industry. So thank all of you. Bar 20 started in 1948 when my grandfather, who was a soap salesman, all of a sudden his company got sold, and so he went from selling soap to what am I going to do now? So somehow he ended up buying a small little dairy processing plant in Fresno, California, which is roughly 3 hours south of here and a little bit to the east. He didn't know anything about milk or cows or anything, but he knew how to sell. So the processing plant, within a couple years, he started selling more milk, and he had two partners that he bought out. So as a salesman, he had to have a gimmick. So instead of just selling milk, he enlisted Hopalong Cassidy, who was a American cowboy hero in the 50s and 60s that had TV shows and movies, and the kids would watch it. And so he figured if the kids get the kids to watch the movies, they'd get them to drink the milk so they could grow up and be like Hoppy. As you can see, after a few years in the 1950s, he said, well, why should I buy milk from somebody else? It can't be that hard. Let me go buy some cows and we'll start making our own milk. So in 1958, we opened our first small dairy called Bar 20 number 1. And the significance of Bar 20 is Hopalong Cassidy had a ranch on his show, and the ranch was called Bar 20 Ranch. So that's how we got Bar 20. Again, it went from one tanker of milk, a couple thousand gallons a day, to where we are today. So as the processing kept growing, we needed more milk. So we opened another dairy in 1970. And that dairy was built to milk 2,000 cows, which in 1970 was a lot of cows. And producers continued to grow and throughout the valley. And in early 2000, my father and I said, well, we should probably get some more cows and provide some more milk. So in 2005, we opened our current dairy, which is Bar 20 number 3. Now, today, this is our only dairy that remains. The first two dairies were shut down, the first one in 2006 and the second one in 2016. But so this is a picture of the generations. In the middle is my father, second generation, and myself, who I worked with for over 30 years, and he just passed away in 2023. And then excited to introduce my daughter, the fourth generation, the good-looking one and the smart one. She graduated from college last year and got her dairy science degree, but now she's working in the field of methane. She's working for California Bioenergies as a greenhouse gas analyst. So she's learning the industry and learning ways to make us better. Again, our dairy, we have the cows and we have our people and our family, and these are all things that were important to my grandfather. He always taught us to do the right thing, to work hard, be honest, and learn, and always try to get better. These are pictures. 2 years ago, we received the Family Business Award for Fresno County, and you can see the wives and the kids and the brothers and siblings. But a lot of agriculture, it's all about family. That's why we do what we do. We work hard for our families and to be able to pass on our farms to the next generation. Years ago, when I was a kid, Producers Dairy, which was a processing plant, would have had patches on the employees' jerseys that said "We Care," and it always stuck with me. And so it's very powerful words, because if you have something that you're wearing on your shirt that says "We Care," it means you care about your customers, you care about your animals, your resources, your environment, your employees. Very powerful words. So that's kind of our motto is in our culture, is we care. We care about giving back and making things better than when we got here. This is our Bar 20 family, not just my family, but our key employees. And my father's in the middle there. He was known for always wearing a Hawaiian shirt and shorts, no matter what the weather was. Okay, now we're on to sustainability. 2008, I got this crazy idea about building a methane digester. The only problem was in 2008, there was about 20 digesters in California, and I don't think any of them were actually operating, because to operate them was more expensive than what the revenue it could produce. So we were with a company called Microgy that was going to help us build a digester. Well, financial crisis hit, and they went away. And so we went through a couple more potential partners to look to build a digester. I thought, well, this is great. You know, we can produce energy and clean the air and reduce methane. Seems like a simple thing to do. So over the years, in 2013, we were introduced to a company called California Bioenergy, which is our current partner with a digester. And we actually drove down to Bakersfield and saw a digester that was actually operating, which is kind of exciting after years of trying to go through this journey. And along the way, from 2013, our digester finally opened in 2021. But along the way, we installed 2 megawatts of solar, all LED lighting, reduced our lighting usage by 75%. And we installed an electric feed mixer, which uses electricity, which is now clean, renewable energy from the cows, to mix all the feed instead of using diesel. So this is kind of a chart that shows the journey. And the digester we built, now digesters aren't that uncommon. Actually, in California, the latest numbers show 168 operating digesters in California, with 75 more in construction. So 243 digesters out of roughly 1,000 dairies in the state. So that's about 24%, which is, it's not that common. Now, what was different about ours is we weren't near a gas pipeline, so we couldn't inject it into the gas pipeline, so we had to look for other options. And we started looking at a generator. We tried to apply for a grant, and were rejected twice. So our developers, CalBio, talked to a company called Bloom Energy, which does a non-combustible fuel cell to create energy, like net metering, just like solar. So our team, and again, it wasn't me, it was finding people that know about digesters and know how to make them work, and we did it together. It was a combination of us and CalBio and Bloom Energy, and then they partnered with BMW, who agreed to buy the electric credits for their electric vehicles, and this project produces enough energy to power 17,000 electric vehicles over the course of a year. And a big help also is Dairy Cares, which is a dairy industry organization in California that works to help educate farmers on these type of projects and to become more sustainable. And so without them, it wouldn't have happened. It was a team effort. Along the way, over the last 3 years, our first award we got was the American Biogas Council. So not just for agriculture, but the whole biogas industry. We got Project of the Year. And then U.S. Dairy awarded us Outstanding Dairy for Sustainability. And IDFA awarded us the Innovative Dairy of the Year in 2023. So this is what the fuel cells look like. Amazing, very efficient. 1 megawatt operates at about 180 SCFM versus a megawatt of generator, which is about 260. So about 30% more efficient. Produced 7.1 million kilowatt hours of power last year, whereas our megawatt of solar is about 2 million. So it's a great solution because it produces power 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, rain or shine. So for us, it's been great. And the one thing about California is the energy costs are crazy. I think we're either the highest or second highest in the country. And so just last year alone, we saved $1.3 million on our energy costs, and in addition to the LCFS credits.
Going from dairy poop to power has a few different steps.
The biogas process starts out with the cows.
Converting it into electricity is new, and that's what Bloom Energy fuel cells do.
Okay, it's 2023 now. I can't even imagine what we're going to be doing 10 years from now, because 10 years ago I never would have thought they'd be making a fuel cell and using cow manure to power it.
If we can make renewable clean power that's available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, it seems like a no-brainer. These are exciting times. And then after we completed the digester, we've got extra biogas. And so we were trying to figure out, what do we do with this extra biogas? How can we get rid of this extra gas, right? I mean, the problem with the utility companies is if you produce extra power, they get it for free, and then they can go sell it to somebody else for high price. So a company came to us out of the blue called H2B2, and they were looking to lease some ground for solar because they wanted to do hydrogen transportation fuel. So just kind of out of the blue. And so I got this idea, well, solar can be good, but we've got this extra biogas that you could use as well, which, again, when the sun's not shining, you could make gas. So in 2023, they opened their first phase. It's a 3-megawatt system, and they've got a contract where they're selling hydrogen transportation fuel to the Fresno Area Express, which is our local bus network. Now they're not running at full capacity because Fresno only has a few buses, but they're bringing in buses from around California to fill up with this green hydrogen. And basically the biogas goes in and runs the generator, and then the generator, they have electrolysis where they produce the hydrogen transportation fuel. So the plan is by the end of next year to have 30 to 40 additional acres of solar, increase it to 9-megawatt system, which is going to produce, they say about 3 tons of hydrogen a day, 30,000 buses a year it could fill, or 210,000 hydrogen cars. So that's the next step. And again, coming to these events, we're always looking to try to do better, because in California it's trying to be as efficient as you can. And I appreciate all you people in here, and I think we got a bright future. Just when I was thinking back to 2008, where there was no digesters that were working, and now we're up to about 243. So thank you.